Have you ever wondered why some husbands decide to walk away from their marriages? Today, we're going to explore this complex issue. We're not here to point fingers, to blame or shame anyone. Rather, our goal is to understand some of the reasons that might lead to such a drastic decision. It's important to remember that every marriage is unique, like a snowflake. No two are exactly the same. So, the reasons we discuss today may not apply to every marriage. They are not exhaustive, but they can offer some insights into why some marriages end in separation. This conversation is meant to foster understanding and empathy. It's about opening up a dialogue and starting a conversation that might be difficult but is necessary. We're all here to learn, to grow, and to better understand each other. As we delve into this topic, remember it is not about casting blame, but about gaining insights. First, let's explore the first three reasons: lack of emotional connection, feeling unappreciated, and constant criticism. Imagine the two of you sitting in the same room, engrossed in your own worlds, oblivious to each other's presence. You're together, but you're not really together. This is a classic example of a lack of emotional connection. It's not about the quantity of time spent together, but the quality. It's about sharing experiences, engaging in meaningful conversations, and being present in the moment. It's about being more than just two people living under the same roof. Now let's talk about feeling unappreciated. It's a common complaint in relationships, and it's not just about saying thank you. It's about acknowledging each other's efforts, big or small. It's the small gestures, like making a cup of coffee in the morning, or the big ones, like working overtime to support the family. When these efforts go unnoticed, it can make one feel like they're being taken for granted. It's like being an actor on a stage, performing to an empty theater. Next, we have constant criticism. It's a tough one, isn't it? We all have our flaws, and it's easy to point them out. But constant criticism can lead to feelings of inadequacy. It's like living under a microscope, every move scrutinized, every mistake magnified. It's not about avoiding criticism altogether, but about offering constructive feedback. It's about focusing on the solution, not the problem. It's about building each other up, not tearing each other down. These are just some of the emotional factors that can drive a wedge in a marriage. They may seem insignificant on their own, but when left unchecked, they can grow like weeds in a garden, suffocating the beautiful flowers that once bloomed. But remember, it's never too late to pull out those weeds and nurture your garden back to health. After all, every relationship has its ups and downs, its seasons of drought and seasons of bloom. It's about navigating through these seasons together, hand in hand. These are just some of the emotional factors that can drive a wedge in a marriage. Scene script. Moving on, let's examine three more reasons: financial stress, differing life goals, and lack of intimacy. First up, financial stress. Money matters can be a tricky subject in any relationship, but in a marriage, they can become a real pressure cooker. When there's a lack of financial stability, it can lead to constant arguments and disagreements. It could be about overspending, not saving enough, or even different attitudes towards money. This financial stress can put a strain on the relationship, creating a feeling of insecurity and constant tension. It's like a ticking time bomb, waiting to explode. Next on our list, differing life goals. Imagine you're in a boat with your partner, but you both have different destinations in mind. That's what it's like when a couple has differing life goals. One might dream of a quiet life in the countryside, while the other yearns for the hustle and bustle of city life. Or perhaps one wants kids while the other prefers a child-free life. These differences can create a divide, a sense of drifting apart because you're not rowing in the same direction. It's vital to have shared visions of your future together. Otherwise, you might just find yourselves on separate paths. Last but not least, let's talk about the lack of intimacy. Intimacy isn't just about the physical aspect. It's also about emotional closeness and connection. When this is missing, it can result in emotional distance. You might be sharing a bed, but if you're not sharing your feelings, thoughts, and experiences, it can feel like you're worlds apart. Lack of intimacy can make a person feel isolated, unloved, and unappreciated. It's like living with a stranger rather than your life partner. These issues can slowly erode the foundation of a marriage. It's like water dripping on a stone, barely noticeable at first, but over time, it can wear even the hardest rock down. So it's important to keep an eye on these potential pitfalls and address them before it's too late. Finally, let's look at the last four reasons: infidelity, feeling smothered, lack of support during tough times, and fading attraction. Infidelity is a heartbreaker, isn't it? It shatters trust, the bedrock of any relationship. When a partner cheats, it's like a stab in the heart. The trust once built crumbles, leaving a wound that might never fully heal. Then there's the feeling of being smothered, like being stuck under a too heavy blanket on a hot summer's night. This can lead to a desire for freedom, a longing for space. It can be suffocating when a partner doesn't respect personal boundaries or disregards the need for individuality. Moving on, lack of support during tough times can cause resentment. Life isn't always a bed of roses, and when the thorns prick, we all need someone to lean on. If a husband feels his wife isn't there for him in his dark times, it can breed resentment, like a seed planted in the soil of discontent. Lastly, fading attraction can lead to dissatisfaction. Physical attraction, while not everything, does play a significant role in maintaining the spark in a relationship. When that spark starts to flicker and fade, dissatisfaction might set in, leading to a feeling of disconnect. These final reasons can act as the last straw in a strained marriage. In summary, these 10 reasons, from lack of emotional connection to fading attraction, can contribute to a husband deciding to leave. These factors, along with others like differing life goals, lack of respect, and unmet expectations, can strain a marriage. Understanding these reasons is a stepping stone to preventing such situations, or effectively dealing with them if they arise. Remember, the goal is not to fear these issues, but to use this knowledge to foster stronger, healthier relationships.